Hi, this is Mark Waid, writer of Superman Birthright, and you're listening to Krypton Report.
Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's
The Krypton Report.
I am your host, Tyler, and welcome to Krypton Report, a podcast dedicated to all things Superman, Supergirl. We're going to look at the Supergirl TV series, as well as the Krypton TV series, anything that has to do with the characters in their world. Comics, movies, TV shows. We will talk about everything and anything. We are part of the Southgate Media Group podcasting network. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Krypton Report. You can also email us at kryptonreportpod@gmail.com. If you get a chance to go over to iTunes, Apple Podcast, please leave us a review to help us get better. You can find me personal at JTYPatrick on Twitter and everything else. What up? Hey, Phil.
Hey, Tyler. What is this?
So, this is just me and Phil deciding that we're going to do Krypton Report together. And I kind of, you know what? When I asked you to do this, I didn't really think about the episode until I rewatched it.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? Like, it is a good episode for you and I to do together because the story of this episode is the parallel of two fathers and the relationship with their children.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, it works best.
Storytelling-wise, it was a good episode, but like if you're looking for like action, there really wasn't much in that regard.
No, there was not.
And it wasn't even really
action.
much. There really wasn't much Supergirl because I mean most of the episode revolved around Maggie.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and John.
And I think to carry the series and to keep you interested in the series, you need to let your secondary characters grow.
Mm-hmm.
You need to want to come and watch, or you get to the point where all you want is Supergirl and you don't care about any of the other characters, and then your show's destined to fail.
But it is a weird choice that like Maggie was like half the focus of this episode, seeing as how she's not even like a regular this season now, so she's not going to be in a bunch of episodes.
And it makes me wonder if that's part of building up to why she's not going to be a regular.
I'm thinking, yeah.
But first thing I wanted to say, like, I didn't notice this last week. I really like the new intro.
Was that was that there last week? I couldn't tell if that was. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
This week, I was like, wait,
that's why I'm wondering because I don't remember it, but it stuck out so much on this episode.
Yeah,
that I'm wondering if this was the first one with it.
I'm thinking because this is the first time I noticed it.
I really like the music change, her voice, the images they used. Because they inserted, I guess, the new actress that's going to be young Kara. They inserted my favorite Lois Lane, Erica Durance, as her mom. And they used better shots of Tyler Hoechlin as Superman when she talks about her cousin. So I was like, I like that. And you know what? I wish we would get an episode like this again, focusing on Wynn. I feel like Wynn and Jimmy are really getting pushed in the back.
Oh, yeah, they weren't even on this week.
Especially,
really.
Wynn they got like small
couple
segments
lines,
in the party. But I mean, this is our third episode. Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah.
Yes.
Still no Guardian.
You think that's over with or put on the back burner for a while?
I feel like maybe it's on the back burner because it didn't do what they wanted it to do.
I think he needed a better costume.
And that's something I had predicted / hoped would occur this season. He's alive. My dinosaur-loving Spider-Man child.
Well, maybe that's part of the reason we haven't seen Guardian this season yet is because maybe they want you to kind of forget that first costume.
Maybe. I just want them to do something with the Jimmy Olsen character or James. I'm trying to use James as the distinction between the more mature, grown-up version of the character that he wants to portray compared to using Jimmy as, Clark's young friend, pal. The young green reporter, photojournalist that he was. So I'm sitting here and I'm just kind of like, man, like he's a character that's a good character, but it's like at the end of season 1, they didn't know what to do with him.
Well, yeah,
for next season.
After they wrote it so he wasn't going to be Kara's love interest, it's like, well, what do we do with him?
And I don't know, like I miss a lot of that early dynamic that he had, and kind of like being the shepherd to her, like, Clark went through this, and Clark showed me and told me how he overcame this.
I love you.
I know. Oh, hey, it's my wife.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not you, so.
What, do I have the same ringtone?
You know what? I don't know. Like, where I got my new phone, side note, like, I lost all the ringtones that I had made from the phone, and because iTunes no longer has a spot to put ringtones in it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that pissed me off. But moving on. So what you're saying about Jimmy is, like, he just kind of a character that outgrew their... Mm-hmm. And I don't want them to force Jimmy or force his dialogue or whatever. Like, I want it to come natural. I don't want him to come like... People probably hate this. I love Supernatural. And I think Cass is a great character. But I think he overstayed his welcome way too long, to the point where it just does, like, him being there just is... I don't know. It's just not as good as it once was. So,
it's kind of like the same problem Arrow has right now. Like, you have so many cast members. It's like, what do you do with everybody?
And you think it's like, I kind of felt like, since we're just talking in general at the moment, I kind of felt like they should have maybe, I don't know, shifted some characters. For instance, Kid Flash maybe could have popped up here soon on Legends. And been over there with them, kind of freshen that up, that scene, because he's really not doing much anything right now.
Why would you wish that on him?
Because maybe he could provide some energy that they desperately need.
Maybe. I mean, put Kid Flash in there. If Mon-El comes back, maybe put him over there. I don't know. Guardian.
Yeah. I think Arrow did not kill enough people on that island.
Didn't kill anyone except for his baby mama.
I mean, they killed her, okay, which is horrible. Mm-hmm. They killed the Al Ghuls, so they could finally put that story to bed, like Oliver did. But, like, we should have got, this season should not have Felicity, but that's a different show. But I really liked... Now, Phil, I know you're going to say yes, but I must ask anything. Did you know who John Jones's father was when he appeared?
You mean the actor?
Let's just say more of the actor's voice.
Oh, yes.
That I liked a lot. And if you don't know what we're talking about, the actor who's playing John Jones's father voiced Martian Manhunter on the 2003 Justice League series and Justice League Unlimited. So to me, that is just awesome, because it's kind of like passing of the torch. Now, if they can get... Oh, man, the name froze on me. The actor that played Martian Manhunter on Smallville to appear at some point as well, that would be awesome. Because... it's just a character that hasn't got enough love, and finally is.
It seems like these CW shows have good luck getting legacy characters, well, except for Tom Welling. Sorry.
Poor Tom. Come on, buddy. Let me just text you right now. Hey, Tom. Come on, bro.
He's busy on Lucifer.
Yeah. I mean, I understand where he's coming from, but you could at least make a cameo. Like, I understand not wanting to play Clark again or getting that. But you could at least make a cameo.
I mean, it's one thing not to want to be on the show, maybe, but I mean, he's on at the exact night and time as Supergirl, but he's on the other show.
which is hilarious.
I know.
Now, if he appeared on Gotham, that would be kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he appeared on Gotham as Clark Kent from Smallville, that'd be hilariously awesome. But so this episode, yes, it was very Maggie and centric, which, like I said, is fine because you want to build those characters because we want to care about those characters. And if she's not going to be a regular, are they going to, I don't want to say they're not kill her off, but like maybe she goes in a coma.
Maybe.
Or lost to the Phantom Zone. This is the sci-fi superhero show, so we can kind of get away with a lot. So they want to maybe build her up so that we care about her more when that occurs. And this was, I thought, it was a very strong, well-acted episode. And as a father, like I said, I was sitting there playing with Solomon and Salo while I was watching it, and I don't know, it puts a lot of thoughts in your head, like, putting yourself in the position of each dad. Like when Maggie's father explained to her where he comes from, I get it, but at the same time, I would want to be by my child's side to help them fight.
And shouldn't you be?
I would try to take as much of the, I don't want to say burden, but as much of the hatred that's going to come their way, I would like to take it, absorb it, and shield them from it. Yes.
And
instead of casting them out.
And shouldn't you be happy that your children didn't have to struggle like you did?
But you should be, but the thing is, she did struggle.
Yeah. Oh yeah, when you abandon your kid at 14, yeah, your kid is gonna struggle.
And and she was left with a whole set of new issues by her father abandoning her and basically telling her that he is ashamed of her.
Mm-hmm.
And I can understand where certain people from a generation could come from with that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think my love for my children is stronger than whatever it is that they choose or path they choose to go on.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be there for my child.
You should, as a parent, you should want your children to be, as long as they're not hurting anybody, you should, as long as, you should want your kids to be happy no matter what form that takes.
I mean, I don't want to open a whole can of worms of things, but just whatever decisions my children decide to walk down, I want to, even if it's right or wrong, I want to be there to support them and allowing them to do what they need to do or want to do. And, so, I mean, I can't see just abandoning my child like that. Shunning them and pushing them away.
Because, everyone listening, Tyler's even dealing with that now. His son's already making big decisions, like Solo is big into Spider-Man, a Marvel character. Tyler understands. Tyler's in his room. Yeah.
Yeah, I even went on my way to find him a secondary Spider-Man costume for Halloween. He's got a Spider-Man costume and his backup Spider-Man costume.
He's like, son, I know you love a Marvel character, but I still love you.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, I support the love of the Marvel and the Spider-Man. It's cool. I even had some Spider-Man gifts waiting for Christmas that I purchased because I found it and it was exciting to find. I got him a cool costume hoodie. Because every time I go to get him dressed, I'm like, put on this hoodie. He's like, Spider-Man hoodie, Daddy. Like, you don't have one. I've watched too much of The Office. I look to the side and wink, inspecting the camera.
That's what she said.
But on the flip side, we learn about, did they pronounce it Marin? I think that's the Martian pronunciation was Marin, and Myron or something like that's the Earth pronunciation.
Something, yeah.
They say it one time. Kara says it.
They explained it, but I thought it was weird that they said they have this custom where they take human form. I'm like, really?
Well, they take the form of the people that they're in the surrounding with.
Yeah.
So the sense is, because Jean was presenting himself in his Hank form, let's just face it. Being on the planet, you think he would be in Martian form the whole time? And I know that they do his face CG for it, but let's make up some prosthetics, and you could shoot it away so that he could have some prosthetics on, so that you don't have to be like, why is he looking like Hank Henshaw on Mars? Why are all these Martians on Mars, Earthlings? But, he took that form. And, I mean, it would be hard. Like, it's one thing to be like, oh, you're not my son. He was killed. How could you know that? But when you live in a culture where they can read your mind and all this type stuff, it makes it even harder. And I kind of thought that maybe he would read Supergirl's mind, because she's not a white Martian or whatever and doesn't have any kind of psychic ability, and be able to see that that's his son, But
At first, I was wondering if he had like.
Hold on.
Uh-oh. So, I believe young Solo has gotten into something. Obi! Oh, the dog returned.
Obi!
The dog has returned. Tyler's dog ran away today, and now he is back.
Phil, look!
Tyler's dog has returned. I told you.
Hold on, I'm telling Janita. This is live on YouTube. Hold on, just give me a second. Sorry, people. I'm gonna go make sure. I'm just gonna give him some food real quick. Keep talking. You're good.
Okay.
You got this, Phil. You're the man.
I know.
Hey,
so yes, the dog has returned. The day is saved. But anyway, should I slip some plugs in here while Tyler's not listening? Been doing a lot of interviews on the Capes and Lunatics. If you're any kind of creative, either comic books, TV, movies, if you're a singer, if you're a band, if comedian, whatever, if you're a creative person, come do an interview with us. Get a hold of me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com. On Twitter, I am at nightwingpdp. And if you want to get a hold of any of the Capes and Lunatics, it's capesandlunatics@gmail.com. We just love comments on any of our shows. And our voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. But hey, did anyone see Flash this week? I like that they're doing different. All right.
I'll get listen. My dog ran away chasing deer.
I did some plugs, so it was like a commercial break, and then I was about to say, hey, did anyone see Flash this week?
This podcast is sponsored by Phil. Blah, 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 blah.
This podcast is not sponsored by any big companies, but if they would like to, we will take your money.
We'll plug the crap out of your stuff. I'll get a tattoo of it, whatever.
I love Brand X. That can be you.
Yeah. Oh, no. He uses Brand X. Okay, so, seeing that the reaction shot that, we'll call him Marin for right now because that sounds cool, had when he realized that Jean was his son was awesome. And I look forward to seeing where that goes now that he is back on Earth with Sean. And I have a feeling that he's going to die saving John.
Maybe.
Just, I don't know, call it a hunch. The flashback of John with his two daughters was awesome. So,
I mean,
it was a very powerful episode.
I mean, John's father, we know Maggie's not going to be in the whole season. I mean, we've got some bodies. We could see some deaths maybe in the crossover. I mean, evil Nazis invade, you might get a body count.
That would be I want to say it would be good to have some events like that where something, there are stakes. There's no like before we saw in the crossover where everyone died and Barry Rent was fast enough in the blast to go back in time and save everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't cause Flashpoint, first of all, but whatever. We did learn that one of the fallouts, real quick, from Flashpoint is people still use MySpace. That was on the Flash this past week. So the Thinker was talking about MySpace. So that has to be a Flashpoint fallout. If not, I don't know what's going on there.
But I mean, wait, think of the drama if they actually do kill somebody off in this crossover. Think about this: if they are going to kill off Maggie, think about the drama between Kara and Alex. If Maggie is killed by Kara's evil double.
Oh yeah.
And Alex just has this image in her head.
Do you think that since they made Alex a lesbian character, that she's lost some of the characteristics of being the character she was in the first season?
I don't think so, because I mean, she really didn't have any romantic background before. And
but there's certain things like traits in her characterization that I feel that they don't show anymore. I feel like they're still there, but now they focused on her relationship. That more of the tough agent Alex that we saw, we don't see.
I don't think it's necessarily because she's a lesbian. I think that they've introduced any romantic relationship for her. They kind of like, before she was like colder and more detached, and now they're actually showing like a softer side to her. Because
I don't want the character like just because they changed something, like we have to make her soft. No, I'm like, that was the show is about strong women, and no matter what choices or whatever they are. I want to see strong female characters.
I don't know if it's just her opening up more because she has this love in her life.
And that could be like, I really want to sit down and watch season 1 and 2 like together, just kind of compare. Because we did have that huge shift, from networks. One thing I just thought about, Phil? You know what we didn't get this year?
What?
A superhero showdown. You know how like every year they've done like the battle royale type superhero showdown little short like advertisement movie thing? We didn't get one this year.
They're too busy filming the crossover.
Maybe. Because, thinking about it, I'm just sitting here like how they've not really got to introduce the rest of the multiverse team to Jon Jones. They saw Kara, the alien who looks fine, but they haven't got to meet the Martian.
Well, yeah, he was in the musical episode, so like Team Flash kind of got to meet him. But
which is great because once again, that episode you had your secondary characters, Martian Manhunter, Vibe, and Kid Flash, on a mission together, which made that enjoyable, and you care about those characters.
But yeah, I mean, Team Arrow and the Legends have to meet John, but nobody's really met Alex.
Yeah.
Or when?
Barry was the only one that met Alex.
Mm-hmm. When?
So, I'm just sitting there thinking, like, the crossover, I want to see some new dynamics there. I have to ask, because we're just kind of wrapping up. I kind of made up my mind here. Like, I haven't watched anything since the premiere episode of Legends. Are you still watching it?
I watched the second week. I haven't watched this week's yet. If not tonight, probably tomorrow I'm going to watch it.
I don't know, man. Like, I just.
Yeah, I know. I
feel like every choice that's presented, they make the wrong choice for the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't stand Rip Hunter. So I would be awesome if in the crossover, Rip Hunter gets murdered. Just saying.
Well, he's kind of still there, but he's kind of like not on the team.
Am I asking for too much by asking for Rip Hunter to, be destroyed? So, my bad, guys. My bad.
Doctor Who fans, that's at JTY Patrick on Twitter.
I mean, it has nothing against the actor. I just think they're writing the character horribly.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the same trope every season he falls into.
Well, and I don't know if they're going to need him because we've got the word Victor Garber's going to be out of there.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting.
Because Charlie and I were talking about this on Saturday. What do you think? Do you think Jax is going to be Firestorm by himself, which they've done in the comics? Or is he going to
it would have to be
somebody else? Or
it would have to be something where there's like an experiment or something when they're fused together that basically traps Martin Stein and him together, and he just hears the voice.
I don't know. I think they're going to write him out completely. I'm thinking.
I kind of think they should.
They're like I was telling Charlie, when Jason Rush first became Firestorm, they had it where he could like bond with anyone. He could like pull anyone into that Matrix.
That would have been interesting if that's what happened with Stein.
Mm-hmm.
Like back when they were looking for basically Jax. If they would have done something where he could bond if anyone had been exposed to the dark matter. But I don't know. I just feel like he's the only superhero on that show. Well, I mean, I guess you have Citizen Steel, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he's so depowered. Like, it's not even like Firestorm.
Yeah, I guess it's like budget or whatever, but yeah.
It's like Johnny Snow. He'll go join Vixen on her animated show. But, I mean, back to Supergirl. Like, this was a great episode. Not a lot happened for, like, action. It's mainly personal character pieces of the characters doing dialogue, the characters exchanging.
Oh, so
what? Go ahead.
You're not gonna mention the most controversial part of the episode?
Did I miss something?
Kara and her Britney Spears impression.
Oh my gosh, was that so random? Like, she pulled up, and I was like, at first I paused for a second because Solo was playing on YouTube, and I thought, okay, maybe a video popped up, and but then when I realized that's the song she had, I was like, really? I'm like, that's what you pick?
But I just knew the minute I heard that song, I'm like, oh god, something's gonna happen when they say "hit me, baby" one more time. I'm like, John's gonna pop out, or Kara's gonna hit somebody. Something's gonna happen.
Did you like his spaceship transforms, like shapeshifts?
Oh, the car.
It reminded me of a space cabbie at the end when it was all like. But yeah, I was like, that's cool. That would have come in handy before. I don't know. Maybe when they were, like that awkward episode where Alex flies Kara's pod up into space. If John had his ship chilling around,
I guess
might have been a little bit better.
I guess he didn't tell anyone about it.
He was like, oh yeah, I got that thing.
Nobody flies Lola.
Have they ever said when John got to Earth?
I don't think.
Was it right before, they went after him, or had he been here for a while?
I don't know if they've ever said for this show's timeline. Yeah, I don't know if they've ever really said.
See, I don't think so either.
Have they even said? Well, he came to Earth of his own choice, right?
Well, he said he fled to Earth, but yeah.
Yeah, because it's not like in the comics where like a teleportation beam just like zaps him to Earth or something.
And see, I kind of like that, because I like the idea that he got pulled to Earth. I kind of like the idea that he was stuck on Mars as the last Green Martian, and like nobody else existed on Mars anymore.
Because that would have been. I think that would have been good if he would have been pulled. Like he would have been fighting the White Martians with the Resistance, and then he got pulled to Earth, and by the time he's able to get back, like the battle was over.
Yeah, like he got pulled to Earth, and something. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Maybe we'll learn more as time goes by with the development, because especially with his father, and his father's going to ask him why he's on Earth. Because I do think it's weird that like Mars is still a flourishing planet, and he's on Earth. Like, even though it's all white Martians, with now 2 green Martians left. I don't know. I just kind of, because I always thought, that was one thing that John and Superman had in common, was they were both the last of their planets. So, I think, like I said, this was a great episode. Just a very character-driven. We got to see McGann again. And I thought it was interesting that when she was fighting along John, she was in her Green Martian appearance compared to her White Martian self.
Well, if you were a shapeshifter, wouldn't you appear as you wanted? Wouldn't you look like the way you wanted to look?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I wouldn't look like this. Unless I was trying to, like, rob a bank or something. I would definitely look different. That's for sure.
I still can't believe your dog's back.
Yeah, well, it was so weird. Like, we've been looking, like, and all of a sudden, I heard something at the door, and I looked back, and Solomon's like, he just looked at me, he goes, Obi? Like, he looks at the window and the door, and I open it, and there's Obi. And I can tell he's tired. So, I mean, that's all I have. I watched it last night. I watched it again today with the kids and just thought about, being a parent and what that looks like. And so I didn't take a whole lot of notes or dig anything around. But what do you, just since it's you and I, like we talked about the first episode, what do you think real quick about the second episode?
I like this season, but it just seems weird because it's like, Rain is supposed to be the big bad, right?
I guess.
Because she doesn't even seem that bad yet. I mean, she wasn't in this week's episode, but like a lot the first week and then a lot last week, she just seems like a housewife who discovered she has superpowers. It's like it's just weird. It's like, where are they going with this season? It doesn't even seem like there's a big bad yet. Because we really haven't even got much more of an edge either.
And I'm okay with that as long as they pull it together. But I keep making this comparison. I just really don't want Rain to end up being the way they did Davis Bloom in Smallville. Mm-hmm. I like the way they did Davis Bloom in Smallville. Don't get me wrong. But I don't want to see that copied, here with her and just be like, oh, it's Rain.
We don't
side news.
We don't need another Kryptonian Hulk.
Yeah. Did you see, like, this is something I've seen people talk about. Did you see that it's supposed to be with the Justice League movie that the character of Steppenwolf had done battle before with Doomsday? It was in an article, and I was like, that's cool. And then people are like, how's that possible? I didn't see that in the movie. And I'm like, did you not hear the thing is about the ancient Kryptonian deformity? Meaning, like, there has been more Doomsdays until this one. Like, and that's part of probably why the genetic council started breeding children. Was because maybe the natural birth triggered or something could happen to
like if anything happens to that Kryptonian DNA that turns into a Doomsday.
And I just thought that was kind of neat that, Steppenwolf had battled one before. And I have a theory. I want to say this on here. Zack Snyder's been releasing, like, photos up behind the scenes of the Justice League stuff. And there's a really cool photo where you see, it looks like the King of Atlantis with Amazons. It could be Poseidon. And my two theories are that in the first battle with the Apocalypse, you had the gods. You had Zeus, you had Poseidon, you had all the gods fighting along, and that's why Steppenwolf was defeated. And that he couldn't invade until all of the gods were killed. That's why Wonder Woman killed Ares, then she disappeared, and when Superman died, I don't know why he wouldn't think of Wonder Woman as being an adversary, but my thing was they couldn't invade until all the old gods were dead. So Ares, when he was dead, it opened it up. But my thought is, what if it's during that battle with Steppenwolf that Atlantis gets put in the sea?
Maybe.
That's how the city of Atlantis comes to be underwater. Just throwing that out there.
Maybe that's why Paradise Island or Themyscira is behind. They erected a magic spell to keep it hidden from the rest of the world.
So there's just some speculation, just me throwing out there, just ideas. But,
so now Steppenwolf has to battle the modern gods.
Yeah, like that is like, are they the modern gods, or are they like she said, the new age of heroes?
And like, Batman, Affleck, you're the bomb in Phantoms.
that's the line I want to hear. Like, yo, you're the bomb in Phantoms. Okay, you've probably talked about this before, but I'm just going to have to get your opinion on this show with you. What did you think about last week's Arrow when they dropped the line about Bruce Wayne?
I don't know. Are they itching for a crossover with Gotham? Are they trying to get more? Is that them trying to open that door so maybe they can get other, maybe if not Batman, other Gotham City characters?
So
Batwoman, perhaps.
I'll be okay with that because we've gotten Bloodhaven.
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten the Bruce Wayne Gotham reference in Arrow. And then, of course, we had Clark's friend in Gotham referenced on Supergirl.
But Supergirl is on a different Earth.
Right.
So,
and they've never, like, it's weird because we know that there's not, like, a Cisco or a Barry on her Earth. Like, her Earth is so far out that it doesn't have, like, doppelgangers. So it kind of makes me, like, curious, like, what that means for the multiverse. So, just a quick thought. Well, good listeners, what did you think of this week's? Send us an email at Capes and Lunatics. Remember all the good stuff that Phil said during the Adventures of Obie and the welcome home party that we threw. And find us at Krypton Report Pod at gmail.com on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. That's probably the one I'm worst at keeping up with is Instagram. Facebook is really where I do more stuff than anything. And then some Twitter, just because I forget. And, just remember, look up in the sky.
And remember,
You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Krypton Report. You can also email us at kryptonreportpod@gmail.com. If you get a chance to go over to iTunes, please leave us a review to help us get better.
if you're an Amazon shopper, just remember you can go to southgatemediagroup.com. There's a portal, log into Amazon, and you'll shop into your account just regular, but it also helps keep all the podcasts on and helps keep Southgate running. Remember, look up in the sky.